Good evening, viewers. Thank you for joining today's webinar, exclusively curated for you amidst the COVID-19 lockdown by Team Remarkable Education. I guess all of us have been listening to a saying since we were young, a very beautiful quote. Schooling doesn't assure employment, but skill does. Yes. So let us find that out today. How one can develop 21st century skills. This evening, we have a unique individual with us. His experience and skills as rich as gold mine, and he has a great knowledge about it. And this is what something we bring all the way from remarkable education with you for you all. So to introduce our first speaker of the day, yes, Mr. Chetan Khurana, an innovator, international speaker, an entrepreneur with 15 years of experience in media, consulting, and education, skilled in various aspects of business strategy, formation, operations, and management with a major focus on business executive skills. He is an active listener, initiator, and problem solver using creativity, resourcefulness, and assets to break down and overcome business obstacles has been his forte. During his education in IIM Lucknow, he worked on interesting projects of employment, skills, and business sustainability, and later worked with different organizations to successfully putting these ideas into execution with the focus on bringing the skills gap and transforming lives. He has mentored almost 1,000 plus students and helped various entrepreneurs in idea execution, reaching the revenue stage and also raising funds. A very hearty welcome to you, sir. Very warm welcome, sir.
Hello to the wonderful audience from all across India. Khamma Ghani to all the amazing students, educators, parents from Rajasthan. Thank you, Dr. Prachi, much appreciated. And thanks to Remarkable Education for inviting me on this forum to speak on this very interesting topic and very close to my heart, the future mix of careers, entrepreneurship and 21st century skills. Now, when the world is talking about entrepreneurship, the number of entrepreneurs registering their businesses each year, and a lot of data and statistics about startups. We here will be focusing on two major things. The first is the steps to become a successful entrepreneur and the role of 21st century skills to make you ready for the entrepreneurship. So when we say entrepreneurship, I'm sure most of you would think about money, profit, great bank balance, amazing lifestyle, etc. But these are some of the outcomes of being a successful entrepreneur. So if you really want to be an entrepreneur, you need to understand what people need, or in a superlative direction, what do they want or desire. So there are different methods and models to know about these needs. For example, you do primary or secondary research, look for more data, analyzing it, etc. So there is a whole long process to come up with the right business idea. Now, on the contrary, as an individual, you can come up with amazing new ideas. I'll tell you how. So for example, you just try to analyze in last 1 year during pandemic, what are the things that made you really unhappy? Things which were making your life really difficult. Your online presence, online education, maybe no access to the playground as a student if you are going out are into sports, not meeting your friends enough, managing your homework, access to medical services, and many other things which were making our life really difficult. These are the problem areas that you as a customer faced, and you can build many different ideas to resolve these problems. Just go on Google and check businesses like remote meetup, doctors on demand applications, trading businesses, trading techs, education technology, ed tech, streaming services. They grew during this time exponentially. They all saw the problems that they were facing, and they worked on the solution for a bigger audience and marketed it. Now, in this process, one would have done multiple things. Identifying and analyzing the problem, first of all, evaluating the solutions, um, making decisions about the right solution, collaborating with right people, creating teams, communicating with them through different mediums, uh, go to market strategy, reaching out to the larger audience, creating basic commercial and scalability model, etc. So this is the whole long process, how businesses are built. Now, all these important things have one thing in common: the skills like analyzing, your problem solving, the flexibility, how flexible you are in terms of solving that problem, the teamwork, communicating with them, collaborating with a lot of people, your creativity skills. So these are all 21st century skills. So for a college or a school student, maybe future workplaces, whether it is your own or someone else, these skills become important and must haves for a successful professional and personal life. So, this is a gist about the future mix of careers, entrepreneurship, and how 21st century skills go hand in hand in that.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks, Chetan, for giving a detailed, a bit insight to all our students to understand, yes, what 21st century skills are actually are, and for which we are really, really honored by your presence. Because this is one thing, and I believe as a career coach that every child is unique in themselves. Now, being unique, that's not only enough, that's the requirement, yes, and we all are. But what we are about and how can we actually figure out and to sustain, to be there in this society, what all actual things are actually required, what skills are actually required, and that's how you figure out which career requires which skills, and do we really lie in that particular area or not, so that we can figure out, yes, this skill set we have and we should actually get into this particular field. So that's
Correct.
very well explained. Thank you so much. Now, moving further, if you can elaborate and give them a detailed insight about, something more about in 21st century skills or future skills which would be required for them.
Okay. See, when we talk about 21st century skills, most of us students, when we started learning about it in early 2000s, what is 21st century skills is all about. And they confuse it with the new age technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, the hard skills related to technology. But it is not. 21st century skills are those soft skills which allow students to cope up with the demand of future. The future world of work requires students, rather professionals, because they will not call them as students once they enter the world of work. The professionals, those who are independent, those who are critical thinker, problem solver, those who can work in teams, those who are, those who can collaborate with other people, those who are not conventionally literate only, those who can read and write, but they are digitally literate. They have to be adaptable. They have to be agile to quickly move from one role to the other and quickly move from one work to the other. Uh, the dimensions, the four C's, like we all talk about: the critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity. So these are the important skills, which I initially explained also. And So these are the must haves for students. That's how they can build their skill set. They can hone their skills. They can be more open to work, especially in entrepreneurship, only because entrepreneurship is not about earning money. It's all about putting hard work, putting all your skill sets, these skill set which will allow you to think aloud, because you have a small idea, you are taking it and building it to a scalable model. For that, these are the skill sets which is required. It is good to have hard skills, I am not denying that, but at least 55% of your success within your own business, or whether you are working for any other company, soft skills plays an important role in that. If you agree with me, Dr. Prachi, हमारे टाइम पे ये होता था कि हम लोगों को टीम एक्सरसाइजेस सिखाते थे, मोर हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस. हम लोग कम्युनिकेट करते थे विद आवर पीयर्स. People have stopped doing it, so they have taken these future skills. It has come to a back burner. They are now involved more on the rat race of everybody is going for technology, let's go for the technology. Now entrepreneurship is the buzzword, so let's go in that particular field. But without knowing about your strengths and weaknesses, how can I explore any other areas of my interest? So I need to know my interest, and these 21st century skills or future skills plays very important role in terms of identifying your strengths and weaknesses.
Well, thank you so much. Again, this was a detailed insight. Definitely, skill sets are important, and that's how, as Mr. Chetan said earlier as well, that yes, it is important. It's just how you make it, how you understand it, with the help of your strength, your weaknesses, and what are opportunities you are actually looking for. So you need to understand everything in and by segregating in detail, and by understanding all these areas, we can actually figure out that yes, this is something what we are actually looking for, which we sometimes do not even think of. So that's where I believe skills reform is been helping all the students out there. Now, moving further, Chetan, the next question from our students, I would like to ask you: how are times actually changed from your childhood to this era of technology? Since you people have been working on a totally different mode with the students now, and something when we were working and studying, that was totally a different way of understanding. So, if you can throw some light on this area as well, that'll be great help for us.
So that's so true, Dr. Prachi. I think the times have changed immensely. Um, just to give you a background of it, I am from a small but popular town, Haridwar. So we have been studied in a township area. So our township schools and classroom, typically in 90s and early 2000s, were full of charts. If you remember, class में हमारे charts लगे होते थे, and we used to learn and remember facts looking at those charts. Now the time has come for the smart classes. People are becoming smarter in their choices in terms of selective learning, that this is what I need to learn more, focus more, and go in depth more. You know, so in our time, teachers were the single point of knowledge for us. Now, if you will see in my daughter's school, teachers are becoming more like a facilitators. As she has an access to Google, so whatever information that she needs, she's in fifth standard. So whatever information that she needs, she goes on to Google and search for it and create the whole research methodology around that area. So teachers, whenever they are getting into the class, it is more of the discussion rather than being a sage who is delivering lectures and giving the knowledge to all the students. Some students may be able to capture that during our times, and some may not. But now things have changed because of the technology, like you said. um, through in our times, rote learning was there. So we used to mug up our essays, mathematical formulas, facts about history, about the quotes in English, for that matter, almost all the subjects. So we were like more like a passive learner. But now students have started discovering facts. They have started analyzing it. So my daughter is in fifth standard. The way she presents things in front of me, which is more easy for me to understand. I technologies have played an important role in doing that, only because during our time we used to read at least 10 books to get to one particular essay. Now essay is through their research and everything, they just have to go, it is click a button away, and they are creating something very new and interesting for themselves. एंड जहाँ तक मेरे को याद आता है, 2000 में मैंने अपना 12th पास किया था, एंड ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम ऑल्सो कंप्यूटर्स फॉर अस was just to play Pac-Man, or maybe drawing using that Windows paintbrush. So, though we are very lucky, only because our generation have done a lot to adopt to these new technologies. और हम कह सकते हैं कि हम लोग जो हैं, हम डिजिटल माइग्रेंट्स हैं, and these are the current generation, they are the digital natives. So we are indeed very, very lucky to witness all these transitions. And trust me, when we say that everything has their own pros and cons, technology today, students should focus more on the pros rather than cons. So it is all about your mindset, how you will take technology and consider it uplifting your skills or helping you reskill into one particular area, or maybe whatever you would like to explore. I cannot think of looking at exploring um, more with a limited technology and too many books that time. Now it is much more easier.
Definitely, now it is much more easier. But that's what we are learning in this era. We are making our students future ready, and very rightly said, Mr. Chetan. Yes, that while making our students future ready, that's where we need to understand all the skills what are actually required to understand in the core that this is what something they are actually unique about. Because as a
Yeah.
career coach, we understand, but to understand what is their core, what is their uniqueness, and what all those skills, and if not, sometimes we need to brush up as well. So that's something. Yes, I understand. So. Mr. Chetan, I would like to understand during this current situation, lockdown, pandemic, there are many things are actually happening. But what do you think? What all changes have this pandemic brought to people's life in terms of entrepreneurship or skill development? I've seen that many people doing certain courses as well related to skill development or different other areas. But what would be your opinion in that case? If you can share some of your views, please.
So I will try to elaborate more upon it, not keeping only the students uh, in the frame, but overall, the changes the pandemic has brought. So let me put it in one word. I think opportunity. Why? I will explain it to you. So if you will see around the world, the schools were closed. Our health system were completely overloaded. uh, Unemployment rate सब लोगों ने देखा है, it has reached not only in India but across the globe. People have lost their jobs, the stock market collapsed, and for everyone, whether directly or not, the pandemic was a huge stress, which shook them completely and triggered fear and uncertainties. But if you have noticed, during this time we all had plenty of um, time to explore new things. No, I think जैसे मैंने अपने during this 1 year, the way I reconnected with people, I have never done that in last 10 years. because of the time and maybe the opportunity. It gave, I've been mentoring a lot of students. What I have understood from them is they have reconsidered their choices, whether it is about their career, whether it is about the courses that they would like to enroll. Uh, Looking at the numbers of entrepreneurs, those who are registering their business, so they have what I can say, the choices, they have broadened their horizons to think, and obviously innovative in the areas that were completely looked down upon, areas like environment, cleaner spaces, cleaner places, all that. So certainly, pandemic jolted us all, but it was an opportunity for us, all of us, whether it is student, school-going student, college-going student. I'm sure there would be a lot of mental health problems with that, but in a nutshell, they have stopped to think, to learn, to unlearn, and relearn new skills. So it was an opportunity for all. I have seen grandparents, those who have learned how to use the technology only because parents are busy doing their household chores. So they are the one who helping the small children with their online classes. So everybody from small children to grandfather, octogenarian, they all have learned something new. You have yourself would have seen the number of webinars on skill development. For us to rethink about जो हम technical और vocational skills के बारे में बात करते हैं during this pandemic, they cannot go out and do explore more on the hands-on things. So what are the various other ways of doing it, in terms of explaining the concept as well as the applications of it through vocational training programs and technical training programs. And on the entrepreneurial side, there were, to give you the figures, there were very very less number of registered startup during the COVID, only because whosoever were registering as a startup, they were very focused about their choices. And there was a fear of failure also, whether they want to get into that or not, and what are the areas that they are sure of that they can explore into. So from student, working professional, to grandparents, it was the opportunity for them. Now after this particular time, after the pandemic, the changes that it will bring to people's life would be, people have seen multiple opportunities and problem within India, and I'm sure they would be coming with new and innovative areas and the solution to the problems that we have faced during this pandemic. So these are some of the changes that it has brought, not only personally but professionally, and it allowed people to unlearn and relearn new skills.
Thank you so much, Chetan, for giving or helping all our students in terms of this, because this is something which parents always keep on asking us, and then it's not that easy, because उनके टाइम में क्या हुआ था और हमारे टाइम में क्या हो रहा है, हमने तो ऐसे पढ़ा and everything was so easy, but now we provide them too many things, we provide them everything, हमें तो ये सब मिला भी नहीं था, उसके बावजूद भी इनकी इतनी ज्यादा हमसे expectations होती हैं. So it is not about
everybody was on a level playing field at this point in time, whether it is student or our generation or a generation older than us. So सारे के सारे लोग, they were struggling to get into हम करें क्या इस चीज से. So skill development gave a ray of hope to them in terms of learning new skills, new ideas, innovation. घर को कैसे संभालें, चार लोग हैं in a 2-room set, how they can maneuver the complete setup. So it was complete problem solving skills that they were using during the pandemic. So good, it was an opportunity for us to learn.
And also, Chetan, nowadays it's kind of an fashion, I would say, or it's in trend nowadays, entrepreneurship. Every second child will find an entrepreneurship, and majorly many of dropouts It's in,
Mhm.
I mean, there's something which I have seen as a faculty as well in number of colleges. Many IITians, many other institution students as well, fashion students, design students, or engineering students, or other management students. Everyone wants to get into, entrepreneurship. So my next question for you related to that, this is only, students are often enthusiastic about their business ideas, but they do not know how to execute it. If you can throw some light on, explain them that how skills reform guides them to achieve their success in that area. So even if they have the idea, how can they can approach you and how you can help them, or in fact, even if a kind of a process you can guide them here, and they can at least do a kind of a homework even. Over to you, Chetan.
Sure. You are correct, in terms of, because it's the buzzword, and we have just scratched the surface of entrepreneurship. So, to just give you a data, we have got 10% of the overall world's entrepreneurs in India. So we contribute to the 10% of the entrepreneurship access to the world. There are close to 58 million entrepreneurs, for that matter. Um, so it is very difficult for us to make them understand about it, only because even if we will tell them, I'll give you an example. In last 1 month, the mentorship sessions that I have taken would be close to 120. And in all those 120, at least 70% of the students, so I'm talking about only students till first year of college, from ninth till first year of college, they were all amazed by the numbers, and they all want to get into entrepreneurship, and everyone has a great business ideas with them. But the problem is how to execute it. So at Skills Reform, what we try to do is to mentor. It's a personalized mentorship, because each individual has their own strength and maybe the weak areas where they kind of struggle. So we have designed the training modules in the manner that each individual will be completely focused upon, and they can get the maximum benefit by the relevant matter. So mentor, sorry. So, for example, if somebody is coming up with, I have a business idea, or I am struggling with financial implication of my business ideas, or I have a go to market strategy ready, how to go about it, how to market it, I don't know about recruiting right people. So they have done their research, but that is all theoretical. In practical, they don't understand about a typical life of an entrepreneur, what it takes to execute your ideas to something which is a scalable model. So now what we have done is, and there are multiple research which says that 21st century skills plays an important role in terms of defining the complete idea and giving the wings to the entrepreneurs. So what we have done, we have bifurcated that in four different modules. One is the personal branding, where people can explore the ideas about how I can brand myself. If I am a soulpreneur, uh, solopreneur, or if I have a, I have problem with the mindset in terms of how I need to reach out to more people. So there is a module on growth mindset. People don't know the skills that I have, and which I have learned during school and college, and I can transfer it to making it much more productive for me. So these are transferable skills, the third module. And the transition skills, so how I should transition from a student to an entrepreneur, or maybe the future world of works. So each of these pillars are guided by mentors according to the need of the student. So it is very personalized mentorship that we are giving it to student. And we have seen, so overall mentorship has garnered close to 4.8 stars out of 5 stars for the mentors that we have. So on our platform we have got 20 plus mentors with 30 different areas of expertise with them. And overall with these 20 mentors, we have done close to 10,000 mentorship put together. So this is how we are mm, doing at skills reform. And execution is the most difficult part. So anyone who's exploring that idea, they can come to us and we can guide them about how to execute, how to take that idea to a later stage.
So that's the very simple and different process, which I believe reforms follows and help all the students.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's quite helpful, I believe. And even if we would be getting any student, we'll be recommending it to you, certainly. Now, Chetan, a very important question. Parents and students and everyone, even like looking at your profile, and we all are doing business, but then we understand the core education part of it. That is important. But one thing which we need to look upon the skill, that how do you decide that, I want to get into entrepreneurship, right? And what are the actual necessary activities for that? What all areas are important on it?
Mhm.
If you can help all our students on this.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So, see, generally, we do research based assessments to know whether um, this is the right area of career for students or professional. But we can explore it a little more in 90 seconds. I have a video to play, so which will give an idea to students about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And I would request if you can just play that area, I can explain it. It is self-explanatory, but I can explain it a little more after this.
Attention to the final product of a successful entrepreneur.
I think it is on the mute.
All
I
the
can't hear the
struggles,
sound.
rejections,
Is it?
If you can just replay it, sorry,
criticism.
it is interesting video to show.
Most people only pay attention
Is
to
it
the
audible
final
now?
product of a successful entrepreneur.
Yes, it is again on the mute, so you have to keep yourself unmuted during this video.
Most don't see is what they've overcome. All the struggles, the daily rejections, the heartaches, the betrayals, the rumors, the criticism, the empty bank account, and all those lonely nights while trying to make their vision a reality. You see, the only difference between the one who quits and the one who doesn't is that they showed up every day. They worked hard every day. They hustled every day. They learned from a proven mentor every day. They improved every day. They did all this even though they felt like quitting every day. And eventually, they became who they are today.
Yeah, over to you, Mr. Chetan.
Yeah.
I
So,
just finished the keynote and
so I hope you got a little glimpse in a life of an entrepreneur. Now, for the convenience, I can also give a handy checklist to see whether entrepreneurship is something that, as a student, you should explore or not. So there are 5 things. One is uh, go deep inside yourself and ask what are your comfort zones are, and how you transition well from your comfort zone to get into a new area to explore, or maybe for that matter a more uncomfortable zone for you. So if you are uncomfortable doing something new, that's not for you. Point one. Second, if you think entrepreneurship is all about earning quick money, it is not. You have seen in the video, and this is how exactly it is. You have to put a lot of hard work. You have to keep your days. You don't know the schedule between your days and nights. So if you're looking at quick money, this is not a area for you to explore. Third thing is, if you are not self motivated, only because when you will go and work for someone else, there is one Hitler in form of your boss who would be having a stick in his hand all the time for you to keep yourself motivated. So even if you are not self motivated, there are someone, and your salary, your paycheck, your bosses, your peers, these are like motivating factors for you. In entrepreneurship, it is the other way around. So you have to be self motivated to take that path, maybe sometimes solo, if you do not have the partner with you. The fourth thing is that if you don't have the growth mindset, the skills like how you have to brand yourself in the market, the important skills like transition skills, if you can't take the feedback positively, because initial 1 year is full of hard work that you need to put, and if you do not have the right mindset to take care of that, automatically I don't think so that you can even think of exploring that. Fifth thing is, if you get along with all the people, most of the people rather, only because there is a fight every day with a lot of people. So you have to be aggressive enough to put forth your ideas and uh, your arguments in front of people. You are not here to please everyone. No, you are not here to obviously customer is a different set altogether, but when you are in a team playing environment, you should know how to put your ideas in front of people. Sixth thing is, if you like to postpone things, or if you are very, very lazy, you don't know how to manage your time, don't get into entrepreneurship. The last thing is the multitasking. So if you know how to switch from being a director to a sales guy, to leverage your strength, being into technology, you are writing codes, you are going, if you are in FMCG, you are going and knocking the doors of people just to understand about your market. So you have to do many, many things together. So if you are ready with these 7 things, then you can still explore. But otherwise, there is a complete research methodology and assessment that we do to make you understand about whether entrepreneurship is something that you should explore or not. Over to you, Dr. Prachi. I hope I made some sense out of it.
Yes, you did, and that was quite detailed, especially the video, which actually grabbed the attention of all the students, and they're asking a number of questions here. So, Chetan, the next important question, which is really very important, because in India, after Modi, our prime minister, there many things came up, and one thing which was really very important is like the way he's been initiating this to come up with the startup, and then they came up with Startup India. There are many programs related to startup, and different organizations, they have CSR activities, naming from women entrepreneurship, or different startup areas, funding them, understanding them in detail and everything. So the next
Yeah.
question, which I would like to ask you, is related to startups in India, and
Mhm.
what challenges do they face, what according to you is the best way to prepare to overcome all those. So we are talking about something which starts from initial stage,
Mhm.
starting from the students if they are coming up with. So if you can throw some light upon that as well.
Sure, sure.
Over to you.
It's very true. There are many challenges. So let me just put that into broad areas. Uh, One area which is under our control. The second one is which is beyond our control. So one thing like regulations, government policies, environmental factors, and external factors. These are all things which are not in our control. So these are the challenges that everybody is facing. So it become a level playing field for all the entrepreneurs. Now there are things that as an individual or things that we can change or we can learn how to go about it and overcome those challenges. The first thing is that the challenge that particularly most of the entrepreneurs face during their journey is to write a to find a right partner, team members, people those who are really hardworking people, and people those who do not give up too easily. So these are the people, and those who are passionate and focused about your vision. So if I have looked for a co-founder for my skills reform, looking at whether she can understand and can go with the flow of the vision or not. How understanding we both are in terms of that these are the changes that we bring at the societal level for the youth. Whether it is skill development or entrepreneurship, and during our mentorship session also we focus on hiring the right people, or at least partnering with right people. If you are not at the stage of hiring people, finding the right partner is the first thing that you should always look for. Second thing is your planning has to be meticulous. You can't go back and forth and say, oh shit, I have created a bad vision for the company. No, it is not like that. You can change the vision, but yeah, for first year it has to, you have to go through it completely. You have created something on your own, and there is a vision, and there are people those who have enrolled themselves within that vision. So if you can plan 2 years or 3 years in advance, it will help you make it more sustainable. The third thing that most of the people struggle is managing their finances, only because at the start of uh, their journey, they spent too much money into this. So either you should have a good financial backing with you. If you are bootstrapping, then you should have the reliable family friends. You should know where the grants are coming from, the contest that you can participate in, the money that you are putting in during the initial stages. If you are good at managing the finances, and these are the major challenges that people face, sorry, while doing the entrepreneurship journey. The fourth thing is the revenue generation. So once you have come to that stage of revenue generation, so people start spending a lot of money in the initial stages itself, which is the worst thing to do. If you have a right model, you have right customers, don't spend too much on that. Uh, Keep putting money within the business itself, so you will get the luxuries later. But at this point in time, it's your baby. You need to put all your energies, focus onto giving it time to incubate well. Then there are problems like go to market strategy or marketing it right. When you are building it from scratch, um, what people during the mentorship period, I have myself realized that students have brilliant ideas with them. They have come to a revenue generation stage, but when they are marketing it, so they have to do research, that in terms of if my product is a FMCG product or my product is a technology product, I go to wrong people to get the feedback during that prototyping. When you do that, you are bound to fail completely. So at initial stages, when you are marketing it during the prototype period, you have to reach out to all those people, those who are not connected to you, those who can give you the right and fair feedback about the services or the product or the technology that you are offering to the bigger audience. So this 100 or 200 set of your customer will give you the right feedback about it. Don't reach out to your family and friends only because they will always give you the right feedback about it, and it is always 5 out of 5. And I have seen a lot of people failing because of that. Some people struggle with their supply chain in terms of, okay, if I have startup which is into luxury items, where am I taking it from? What is the source of my purchase? How many people I have reached out to? वो सारी चीजें बहुत मैटर करती हैं to get your supply chain sorted. And last but not least, and the most important thing, the lack of right mentorship. Only because there are thousands of people, those who are sitting, those who have explored that areas, burned their fingers, burned themselves and their finances into exploring something new and innovative. These are the people, those who have failed and can guide you and mentor you in terms of what are the things that they have done wrong. And if you will learn from their mistakes and you make new mistakes, then it is all right. But if you do not take the help of a mentor during your journey, it is not going to be easy for you. So these are the broad two categories of the challenges.
Well, that's superb and a great insight, definitely. And giving point to point insight about every single thing which is actually related to startup and entrepreneurship if is one is actually thinking of or planning of. We generally what happens when we speak to students, they're quite motivated, excited, and this something quite fascinated word entrepreneurship, and everyone is so excited towards it. But getting right way and following that path, because that's one road, and how do you follow that road? So that is also important. Sometimes the directions are really important, but business to business it varies, and that's something everyone needs to understand from the core, that yes, what actually, or what all skills or what all things are actually required, what path they should follow. So these insights are definitely very, very helpful. Another important question, Chetan, for you: what could be the best online activities if you can help our students in creating a good, understanding in terms of creating a good profile for entrepreneurship courses? So even if they are thinking of, you can help them that way. Over to you.
Like I said, first of all, they need to understand whether entrepreneurship is what they should explore or not. So profile building only comes up. People generally, students specifically, because of lack of mentorship, looking at their cousins and peers. That's how the career counseling model used to be earlier. People used to reach out to people, those who are successful in their model, and हमारे पेरेंट्स भी फोकस ये करते थे कि आप जाओ उनके पास और उनसे सीखो. मतलब let me put it in a very harsh manner, you cannot ask a fish to fly. You cannot ask a monkey to swim deep inside the sea. There is a research methodology where you need to understand about it whether these things are meant for you or not. Assessment works very well. We do, each individual who's coming on our platform, we do first of all a clear assessment with them to make them understand about it, that whether it is good for you or not good for you, and there are other related careers that you can explore into. Profile building for entrepreneurship, if you have understood and if it's the career of your choice, and you have explored a little more, researched about your dream college, your dream university, your workplace that you are looking for. If you have understood about it and researched about it, then there is a way how you can build your profile. I will just keep it very, very focused in terms of for the future the entrepreneurs. They need to enroll themselves for various short-term courses to start with. to explore, to understand the theory of entrepreneurship. Because like you also said, and it is the buzzword in the market, uh, entrepreneurship, that I want to start something on my own. Once they will enroll themselves into these particular programs, it is available on various online course site like Coursera, Udemy. They can go and explore it there to understand about the nitty gritty of starting up. It will give them a theory. So if they have done automatically and they are confident about it, it will must have on their profile that these are the courses that they have learned, because people not only look at the practical application of it, but theory also, that they understand about the word entrepreneurship. And I have seen and I have suggested many people, especially students between ninth to 12th standard, then they can register themselves on TIE, TIE. They have a young entrepreneur program, and it's from the US, but it is applicable, and there are various areas and regions that they can explore. It is available in Delhi also, and Rajasthan also, and all the metropolitan cities. So this is Thai Young Entrepreneur Program that they should definitely enroll themselves if they are confident about this is what they want to do. Then there are various contests and international competition that they should participate in. That even if they fail, they will get to meet people, they will get to understand about what other people are doing, what other nations are doing, what are the simple problems that they are solving with the complex solutions. So the contest like India's future tycoon, people can just surf about that. That's a good competition to look at. Moonshot, that's also in the US. Moonshot competition, people should go and explore these areas. There are summer programs that students can enroll themselves. That's not limited to school students or high school students, but college students can also explore. There are summer programs like Launch X summer programs. So these are definitely must do for people, those who would like to get into entrepreneurship. Then internship plays very important role, where you are showing your different skill set during the internship. How to look for the internship? There are various ways and means. You need to build your profile for doing the internships also, but small internship, because there are a lot of startups not only in India but in SAARC countries, developing countries, and developed countries, those who are offering internship. If you have a right skill with you, whether it is digital skill or you are good at something, uh, you need to first you need to know about your strengths. So if you're good at few things, you can explore that internship opportunities with these organizations and not for profit organizations also. Most of the Ivy League colleges are looking at leadership quality. Now, for entrepreneurship, leadership qualities go hand in hand, only because you have a startup model, you have a details to it, you have a program, you have the complete model. If you are at a prototyping stage, you can show it to other people that these are the things that I have done with my startup itself or my entrepreneurial idea itself. Then the must have, another must have should be the digital portfolio. Especially tech people, they should go on GitHub and they should be well versed with GitHub, um, and various tech websites. So if you are available on all the social media, they will check your social media, what kind of conversations that you are doing, what kind of posting that you are doing. So it has to be very, very nice and clean digital portfolio that you can build. There are conclaves. So at Skills Reform, we are also organizing students conclave in month of June, and this is for school students. So these are the students, those who would be giving their ideas and opportunity that what education policy should look like, what is the entrepreneurship should look like from my end. So there are a lot of policy makers, those who are talking more about it, but it is only on the papers. When student try to explore that opportunity, they don't get the chance to do that. So let's hear the voice through this particular conclave. And these are the mediums where students should certainly explore by participating in international conclaves in India and abroad. It makes your college application much easier, and your CV, it gives an extra weightage to you.
Thank you so much, Chetan. I believe this was really important because everyone was looking forward to it. And entrepreneurship, this as we discussed, it's a buzzword. Yes. So all these areas we think of, but then we are somewhere around. We are not really convinced with our thought process even sometimes, or we get confused. And this something entrepreneurship is almost like you're totally onto another planet and you are doing, or you're supposed to do everything on your own because it's a startup. You do
Yeah.
not have everything well settled, you do not have everything well organized. You're supposed to organize every single thing. So one
Yeah.
thing as
So sorry to interrupt you here. So people generally confuse with entrepreneurship and family entrepreneurship.
yes,
That is also very, very important area to explore into. I'll just take 1 minute to explain that to them. Like you said, when we are exploring new ideas and getting into the new journey altogether, that is entrepreneurship. When you have an idea which can impact society at large, and you can make it more commercial, viable, and profitable. So that is all about entrepreneurship. Family entrepreneurship is completely different. So I can see a lot of people in Rajasthan, those who have, not only in Rajasthan but Punjab also, and there are different states where people explore family entrepreneurship. So that you already have a set base with you. Now how to take it to 2x or 10x, that's a different skill set altogether, that you need to understand. And when we talk about family entrepreneurship, certainly 21st century skills or future skills plays very important role in terms of changing your mindset. And not only yours, but your parents also, those who are taking that family business from years and years, and you are set to change it to a different platform altogether. I have seen and I have mentored people from students from Rajasthan also, and they have a brilliant, 80 crore business or 90 crore business. They come up with idea of taking it through the research that I can take it within 2 years to 150 or 200 crore, which is like a in 2x of what their parents cannot even think of. So we need to bifurcate that in terms of entrepreneurship is different and family entrepreneurship is different, and mentorship for that. And whether you are good for doing family entrepreneurship, though it is in your blood as a businessman, but there are still people fail during doing their taking their family entrepreneurship. I have written a lot of you know blogs on that, on family entrepreneurship, that third generation, how they spoil their complete business. So that's we can discuss that on a different platform altogether. And students, those who are exploring family entrepreneurship, they can come to us through you. We can explain it to them much in deeper by giving them the deeper insight of how they should go about it.
well, thank you so much, Chetan. This one thing which obviously because that's something kind of a platter you get, and then you are only supposed to organize it, and then you get, because you have everything. You have everything. It's not just about that you are a boss, but you haven't started from the scratch. And once you are ready to do that from scratch, that's your own baby. So nurturing someone's baby or nurturing your own baby, that's the two different directions and two absolutely different things. And I believe family business to your own entrepreneurship business, your own entrepreneurship thing, is absolutely different thing. So that one thing nowadays kids really, it's difficult for them to understand, but this is really very important because that's where they face challenges. No matter what, how much they have studied, education is secondary, that I believe, because our forefathers, our parents have actually built it, and what they have faced, because that's how you call it experience, and experience actually plays an important role here. Now, last and important question, since we are, with the time limit. So, few important tips, if you would like to give to our student before we conclude the session, Chetan. Over to you.
In I can see in the comments, Mr. N.D. Mathur is saying razor pay startup is evident to it. Family entrepreneurship. That's a good, insight example that he has given it to, in terms of during pandemic how they have reached to 10x, and there are
Yes.
multiple examples of that. Okay, so you know. The I have given enough tips though, but I will give one quote that I have read recently. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So, for students, working professionals, anyone, those who are getting into entrepreneurship, they should know themselves first. If you know yourself, your strength, your weak areas, the opportunities for you, you will struggle big time. So it is time for you to go inside, introspect. What do you want? What are you passionate about? Go through a research based assessment which will help you, career guidance or mentorship which will help you to understand about, is this the viable option for me or not. And they need to be more agile, they need to be more adaptable, be more focused, and be prepared for adversities. So I would like to conclude with these four golden words for a successful future, whether it's a student, working professional, or those who are getting into entrepreneurship. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a ton, Chetan, for helping all our students. And this subject is really close to my heart, being myself an entrepreneur and struggling because I came up with this idea of career counseling, and that too in a technology format where every child would be able to figure out their uniqueness, their skill set, yeah, their IQ, their ability, their interest, and everything. And this is not something with the vision of the youth for the youth of the nation, where we really want to help all the students of India so that they should get into one basic area, whatever they should be. And all the companies should get the right person for their right job opportunity, so that every individual area should grow in a right format, in a happy format as well, so that no one regrets. So this word will end up from the dictionary by thinking and seeing that this is not something which we were looking for, this is not something we were thinking of, or my parents actually forced me to be in this, or one or the another. But I have recently even explored one with two of my colleagues I was traveling with, that they have figured out their career just because of one very simple reason, because of their friends or something happened in that particular moment. But now they're doing good. So in fact, if we figure out with these skills, it is much more easier. Or if we figure out with some of the reason, it happens, you happen to be there for some reason, but then you figured out. So it's always different. But in today's world, in the current situation, it is really not that easy, because giving huge platter to all the students and choosing from those, it's not that easy. And specifically in every single field, when we talk about, let's say, even if we talk about entrepreneurship, even in entrepreneurship, we have n number of areas to figure out and work about. So that is again not easy. So that is the reason I believe skills reform is actually helping all the students out there to figure out, understand their areas, that yes, if you are capable enough for business, if you are thinking even of being an entrepreneur, they will be able to help you to understand, all right, that these are the right ways, these are the right steps, and there's something if you are looking for, these are the ladders which you are supposed to climb, and step by step by step, so that from scratch to the end planning of next number of years, you will be finished, you'll be prepared all along with your business plan in your hand, with your own idea. So idea will be yours, vision will be yours, it's just they'll be brushed up in a format of entrepreneurship very well for you. Well, it's time to conclude our session now, which happens every day. We'll be again meeting you tomorrow with yet another session with next topic. Time actually felt like a pleasant breeze today. We are grateful to Mr. Chetan from Skills Reform, and also to the people, those who are listening it today, that Mr. Chetan has actually take out time from his busy schedule, and also all the parents, students, teachers, those who are actually listening this session and giving their viewpoints, their opinions through the chat box, and also Mr. Chetan been sharing all his knowledge onto this platform so that we are able to help number of students for the youth of the nation. I'm sure that is value added for both parents and students. I'm 100% sure about it today. I'm also thanks to all our viewers, 100% from the core of my heart, those who are actually watching it from any of these social media platforms, and also a big thanks to all the schools, those who are actually hosting onto their channel and sharing all their queries and love and support. We are very thankful and grateful. You keep in touch, stay in touch, keep on attending all our sessions. Till then, please take care, stay healthy, and goodbye.